Okay, volumes of pyramids, cones and spheres. So there are three formulas we need to go through. Pyramid, it's V equals 1/3 times area of the base times the height. Now this height is a perpendicular height, not slant height. The slant height will be on the side of the face. So remember that. And it's a 1/3 because it's not like a prism, full prisms. It's a less volume, isn't it? Because it's not completely the same, you know, shape of the, all the way through the top shape of then the bottom, because it's getting smaller. So it's a 1/3. And also cones are same, 1/3. And the base of the area of the base is a circle, so it's a pi r squared, and again times by perpendicular height. And the last one, sphere. Okay, sphere's got the different number to times it is a 4/3. So remember that. Cone and pyramid is 1/3, but sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed, not squared, cubed. Okay, well let's have a look at the questions now. The first question is, okay, so find correct to 1 decimal place. Okay, just remember the 1 decimal place we got to do. And two things we have to find for each pyramid here, or each solid. Part A is the perpendicular height, and part B is its volume. So let's find the perpendicular height. So perpendicular height is this, okay, and that's a slant height. Now they got two slant heights because it's got a rectangle on the bottom, okay, so they're much different lengths. Now it doesn't really matter which slant height you use, or the length or width, to find the height, because the height will be the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this right angle triangle here and draw this again here. So that's the height that I'm looking for, and I'm going to use a slant height of 50 here, and that's my base here. That's half of 60. Okay, so I'm going to get 30. Alright, so if I use the Pythagoras Theorem, 50 squared minus 30 squared, because it's not hypotenuse, so it's a takeaway, and if you use a calculator you will get 40 centimeters. Okay, now if you do the other side, this triangle, so if I sketch that, so for example if I did this, that's still the same height. Now this slant height is 41, and this base is a half of 18, which is 9. So height, still use Pythagoras Theorem, 41 square minus 9 square, you will still get 40 centimeters from your calculator. So it's still the same. Okay, so that was a part A. Okay, now part B, I'm going to use different color maybe. Yeah. Part B, it's volume. We have to find the volume. Volume, can you remember the formula? 1/3 times the area of the base. Luckily it's a rectangle, we just have to times the length, and the height, perpendicular height, which is a 40. So if you put that all that in calculator, you'll get 14,400 centimeters cubed. Okay, now this, unfortunately, this 2 doesn't have any decimals, so it's a whole number. So that was not unfortunate, actually good. Now let's have a look at the second part. Okay, this is not a pyramid, it's a cone. Well, still the same. Let's have a look at part A, which is the finding a perpendicular height, which is that this is the perpendicular height we're looking for. So I'm just going to draw a right angle triangle because I'm going to use Pythagoras Theorem. So that's my height there. That's this part. And that's my slant height. And that's my base, half of diameter, 22. Half of that, it's 11. So my height will be 30 squared minus 11 squared. So if I do that using calculator, I'll get 79.91 something something dot dot dot. And because it says 1 decimal place, I'm going to go with that, meters. Okay, and then B was the volume. Now volume equals, it was 1/3 times pi r squared. Okay, the r was 11, the radius, squared, and the height 79.9, and put that all in calculator. I will get 10,124, 10,124.20121 dot dot dot, but it's 1 decimal place, so I will just do that, and meter cubed. So that's my answer. Okay, the next question, question 2, I'm going to go with, okay, for each solid, find correct to the nearest whole number. And first I need to find its volume, and the second I need to find the capacity of that. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So I need to find the volume. Does anyone remember formula? V equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Yeah, and the radius here is half of 18, 9 millimeters. So just prepare for this. It's like a cooking, isn't it, guys? So you're just getting the ingredient ready and you're about to start cooking here. All right then, V equals 4/3 times pi times 9 cubed, and you put that in your calculator, you will get 3,053.628 dot dot dot, and it says to the nearest whole number, so I will go 4 millimeters cubed because it's a volume. Now we need to convert this one to capacity. Now closest one I can think of is a milliliter. You need to do divided by 1,000. Memorize this, guys. So if I do that, I will get 3.054 milliliter, but it says to the nearest. So my answer will be, that's my dog, 3 milliliter. There, he agrees. Okay, next one. Part 2. It's a hemisphere, half of the sphere. So not to worry, we can still do the exactly same, we just halve it. So first we're going to find the volume. So before we do that, I'm just going to times that with my formula. So it'll be easier for me to calculate later on. It'll be 2/3 pi r cubed, and my r is 8.5 already given to me. Wonderful. So the volume is 2/3 times pi times 8.5 cubed equals 1,286.22, roughly, because it's nearest, 86 centimeter cubes. Excellent. Now I need to convert that. This is the easy one because we know 1 centimeter cube equals 1 milliliter. So we don't really have to do anything here because it'll be the same. It'll be is literally the same. Okay, so that's done. Now number 3 and 4 is the last one. So let's have a look at the number 3 first. Okay, calculate correct to 2 decimal places the radius of a sphere with a volume of 75,858. Now what are we looking for here is the calculate the radius. We need to find the radius, guys. So R is what we're looking for. Okay, so let's have a look at that. And it's, what is it? It's a sphere. So what's the volume formula for sphere? 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, if you didn't remember it, please remember it. And I'm just going to replace this one. Just swap the place. V is what? 75,858. And r cube equals, I'm just going to divide by all that with this so that I can have just r cube all by itself. 858 divided by. Now, don't use a calculator yet. I'm going to show you something. Equals. Now, r is bigger than 0 because it's a distance. So make sure you have that ready for it. And your calculator. Now, this cube goes the other side, it becomes cubic, like a 1/3, power of 1/3. Okay, so what I'm going to show you here, it's, let's put that in, hopefully you can see it. So this is a shift, you can see that little yellowish color, say cubic root there, and then press the fraction button, 75858. On the bottom, I'm going to press another, the fraction button one more time. So I'm going to go 4/3 times shift, little 10 days to get a pi, and then it equals. And I'll get 26.260 something something something. And I want it to be 2 decimal places. So my answer is, therefore, R equals 26.26 centimeters. That's my answer. Okay, so that's done. Next one. A cone, this time it's a cone, has the volume of 240 centimeter cube and a perpendicular height is 30 centimeters. Calculate correct to 1 decimal place and it's radius. So we're looking for radius again. And it's 1 decimal place this time, and that's my height and that's my volume. Okay, so just indicate a few things that you want to use for your calculation. So V equals, for a cone, is 1/3 times pi r squared. Remember, the base is circle and the height. So volume was 240, and then pi and radius we don't know. The height was 30. Okay, so I'm going to move this one into here. So that, just do that first. So it'll be 10 pi r squared equals 240. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing as before, previous question. I'm just going to divide by that. 10 pi. That gives me 24/pi. And r equals, you might think it's plus minus, but no, guys, remember that pi, the r is bigger than 0 because it's the actual distance and the length don't have negative. So I'm going to show you again, clear that. So square root and fraction, 24, down, shift, oops, couldn't see that, press that, and I've got 2.76395 something something something, and therefore my answer was a 1 decimal place, so 2.8 what is it, what's the unit, centimeters. Excellent, well done.